Everyone, today we are going to discuss about laser. So see, as you can see, laser. What is laser? It is light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Before the discovery of laser, earlier laser was discovered, L-O-S-E-R, that is light optical oscillation by stimulated emission of radiation. The first theoretical concept of this laser was put forward by Albert Einstein, but its practical application was done by Charles Towne and his co-workers. Now let us discuss how this laser works. Before that, let us briefly discuss what is this amplification, the stimulated emission and this radiation. What is amplification? As we all know, while doing amplification, if we give a low input signal, it converts it into high output signals. So here light is amplified with the help of stimulated emission of radiation. Radiation is nothing but emission of energy. Okay. Now let us discuss one by one how this laser works. First of all, in general, every atom has two states. One is the ground state and the one is the excited state. Here in the diagram, this E1 denotes the ground state and E2 denotes the excited state. All the atoms first of all present in the ground state. When we supply some amount of energy, that is energy of a photon, that is equals to h nu, the ground state atom will absorb that energy and it will move to the higher excited state. This process is known as absorption. After a certain time period, that is 10 power of minus 8 seconds. Remember, every atom stays in excited state for 10 power of minus 8 seconds. After that much of time, without any external source, the atom on its own de-excites to the ground state by releasing an amount of photon energy, that is h nu. This process is known as spontaneous emission. Spontaneous emission because here, without any external source, the atom from the ground's excited state comes to ground state. Now here see, I had written stimulated emission. In case of stimulated emission, what happens? Before the atom present in the excited state comes to ground state, we supply some extra amount of energy so that when the atom de-excites to ground state, it releases two photons. Now here you see, in general, there is absorption, there is spontaneous emission. We can do laser by this? No. Why? Because see, here we are giving one photon energy, we are getting one photon energy. This is not amplification. Amplification means if we give something, it will be double, triple, or it will be low, will convert to high. But if you observe, if we will consider absorption and stimulated emission, we have given only one photon energy and at output we get two photons. So that's why stimulated emission is preferred more than spontaneous emission. So this is the general principle of laser. Now let us discuss what are the components present in the laser. The laser has the first one is pumping source, second one is optical cavity, third one are fully reflecting mirror and partially reflecting mirror. So this optical cavity consists of medium. The medium means it may be a gas, solid, liquid, anything. Okay. So optical cavity here, it consists of the medium. This pumping source means this pumping source is used to achieve population inversion. Now, what is population inversion? So in general, atoms, the number of atoms actually stays in ground state. And if we compare the number of atoms present in ground state to the excited state, always ground state will have number of atoms more than excited state. But in case of population inversion, it is just opposite. The atoms present in the excited state will be more than in the ground state. And if that process occurs, then only we can achieve laser principle. Okay. So this pumping source is used to achieve population inversion. This pumping source or this pumping mechanism is of four types. One is your electric discharge method, one is direct method, another one is chemical method, and third one is by flash lamp. Okay, by using optical flash lamp. So If it depends on the medium, if we are using gas medium or liquid medium or solid medium, depending on these three mediums, we can take any of the pumping source mechanism. Okay. Now, what happens? This pumping source, during the pumping source, what will happen? It will supply the energy so that atoms in the excited state will be greater than that of the ground state. Then, stimulated emission will occur. The laser output will come out from the partially reflecting mirror. If you observe this side, this is a fully reflecting mirror, and this side is the partially reflecting mirror. Okay. So, partially reflecting because some of the rays will again go back and they again start the process in a cyclic manner. And this laser output is either continuous or pulsed output. Okay. Now, if you will observe here, I had written that Albert Einstein is the first one who put forward the theory of stimulated emission. And basing on his theory, Charles Towns and his co-workers bring the concept of laser. And the first laser in the year 1960 was discovered by T.H. Myman, who discovered a ruby laser. It is a solid state laser and it will produce a pulsed output. Okay, and again in our syllabus we are also having helium neon laser, which is a gas laser, and it produces a continuous output. So this is the basics concept of a laser. In the next class we will discuss about how the ruby laser works and how helium neon laser works. Thank you one and all.